the second best draw board in the world. First one, mine, coming soon. Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here with PodiumArcher.com, talking about a Last Chance Draw Board 2.0. What was wrong with the first version? The one, you say? Well, in order to get a bow to time correctly, you have to actually pull it unevenly. And what I mean by that is when you grab the string in your hand, they're staggered. They're not the same. They're not even with each other. And if you grab a draw board in a straight line, it will pull it slightly out of time. You'll be about a half twist to a twist out, trying to get it perfectly timed. And that was what was wrong with the original draw board. And this version is an improvement of that. But I don't know why I'm talking about it. Let's just show you. You'll notice there's an actual drop in here where it staggers the position that the bow would actually sit in its handle, and you can adjust it to your optimum height. So you can measure where your burger hole is in your bow and then where the handle is down, and that's how much you should move this down to adjust the timing. Now, to get it actually correct, so you can customize it for your own bow, and it looks like you can actually put it in a strap around stirrup and hold it in place, which is pretty cool, I'd like to say. So let's give this a whirl and stick it on our press and see how it works. Your standard Last Chance press, which mind you, there is a ultimate model. So if you ever see that when you're listing it and looking at it on the website, the ultimate model is for the ultimate press draw board, okay? Only the ultimate, the standard, the deluxe, the green, they all take the same press other than the ultimate. So please keep that in your mind when you're picking. If the other one's out of stock, don't just pick that one because you want the same thing. So you pull the plugs out. These little plastic plugs that sit in the end. Standard flathead screwdriver will get them out for you. Take your little draw boardy here, boop, boop, boop. Slide it right in the hole. Got a little felt on there to make it fit a little bit better, but it's still a little sloppy. Not a big deal because it's always going to pull to the same position when you pull it back. It doesn't really have to be rigid. It's okay that it's a little loose. Don't let that alarm you. And that may also be what this is for, is to try to make it a little thicker and make it a little tighter, but I don't think that would get rid of that slop. But that slop's not hurting anything, so don't worry about that. Pull your plug out of the other one. You can keep them or throw them away. Those plugs are just for aesthetics, so you don't see a gaping square tube hole when you're looking at your press. That's all they're for. So here's your draw board with its cranker yanker here. Same thing, same sleeve. Slide it on there. That one's way tighter than the previous one. And I'm sure that's for some tolerance here. Let's see, get it in there. Okay, we've got our draw board attached into the assembly. That looks like it's fine, so I don't have to move that. Pull that little out. We'll just grab a bow and stick it in and see what it shows us. Now, just like every other thing, folks, I have not looked at directions. I have not grabbed any instructions. And I have no idea how this thing works, but I'm going to guess. See how close I get. I imagine this is a strap, which is different than what they used before. That works pretty good. Hook on the loop here. And then I'm assuming this is a safety catch as well. Yeah, in case your loop breaks, it's still got another loop around it. Just make sure when you use that thing, you actually put it in the middle here. If you put it below, it won't time your bow correctly. A little cranky. All right, so the bow's seated in the handle. That looks about right. And like I said, you can adjust the angle of these things. So this is really relatively well thought out. I'm pretty impressed with it. Compared to what their other one was, this is a much nicer draw board. And it's, what, 75 bucks more than the previous model? That's not that much. I think that's worth it. I would wonder if they're going to sell this as just a separate option, but it feels like this is actually an improved version as well, and it's sitting off farther than the other version. So what they've done here is they've made sure these things are square and staggered like they should be, okay, from the previous. So it's not as simple as I just need that part. You actually need this part too because it's not the same. So let's keep on this back until it hits the let-off point. Now, here's where the part where having instructions would be really cool, but I refuse to do so. How do you let this down? Oh, just let it down. That's cool. It's got a little break in it. Okay, let's see how out of time this bow from last year is. So the other thing that you can do with these draw boards, which is pretty cool, so we're hitting a point that a click in this is going to go the other way and we're not going to be able to infinitely set it. So let's see if I can use my bow press to get the last little bit out of it. Yep. So you can actually set it exact. Almost there. Okay. Now you should be able to tell this is exactly timed. Now this is the only thing I dislike about this type of draw board design, is you have to stick your head over the side of it to look at it, because you have to draw this correctly. And a lefty, I'm assuming you're going to flip these things around. I imagine you got to flip it over, unbolt it, rebolt it on the other direction, because you can't just draw it upside down or you're going to be completely out of time. So left-handed person's going to have to set it up the opposite direction and reflip this over. But it apparently works very good, and this bow was in time off of my draw board previously, and it's in time now. So what they did corrected the issue that these draw boards had. So way to go, Last Chance. Thank you for making a better draw board and a better product than you had previous. And this is really easy to use, not gonna lie. It's a pretty simple crank system. Let it back down, it just lets itself back out. So we'll do it again for you real quick. It's actually really easy and quick. I was just taking my time to make sure we rounded into a good timing position. So yeah, that's an awesome improvement from what they previously had. So, now I know I always say go support your local pro shop, but very few shops actually even deal in the accessories of these bow presses because they don't typically sell presses. So let me preface this. If your shop actually sells you bow presses and things of that nature, please go buy it from them. That's a shop that is acknowledging that it's valuable for you to be able to work on your own stuff, and you should support that shop because they're trying to let you have that opportunity and not make it difficult for you, unlike some of the shops in the country that don't deal in tools at all. So support your local shop. They need them. They need you. You need them. It's a valuable relationship to have. Please work on it and cultivate it. If you're going to buy it online, and only if you're going to buy it online, podiumarcher.com for all those archery needs. $99 and up is free shipping, and these will be on there at $319 for your availability, and coupon code MFJJ might just save you a little money on that. Just saying, offering it out there. So great little draw board, very impressed with Last Chance, and I'm willing to bet these are probably going to be difficult to get all year because it's the first time they've made a new draw board in, I don't know, 10, 15 years, and it's a legit improvement. So if you have the old one, I hate to break it to you, you should probably get rid of it and replace it with this because this will actually time your bow correctly. Thank you, Last Chance, for making a tool that works correctly. I love to see that, and I appreciate you probably getting feedback from people that there was a little variance there and fixing the problem. They're a good company, all made in the U.S., all local on all their presses and draw boards. Can't speak to some of the electronic tools, but the rest of that's all made in the U.S. They're actually made in Georgia, and they're only 3.5 hours away from my new shop in Nashville, Tennessee, which is called Nashville North Archery. Visit the website. Some of the stuff that we're shipping out is already leaving from there, by the way, and we'll take a trip down there and see their little facility and get to know those people so you can know who you're actually buying your products from originally, because it is just a local family, and most of I think a large percentage of that place is family. So, American family, American-made product. Be supportive. Thanks for watching.